Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So this story came across one of the news feeds that I get on my phone, and it's pretty disturbing. And originally, I went to the blackenterprise.com to read it. And the title of that article, and I may put this link in the description too, it says, new Texas law threatens black female judges running for office. The bill has led to an influx of obstacles for black female candidates. I'm not going to read through this or go through the Black Enterprise article because it doesn't go into detail as to why these judges are trying to keep these sisters from being elected coming up. Now, you have to understand how the system works. Over the past few years with the DEI, George Floyd, thanks the deletion of George Floyd for all this. You had a lot of sisters getting in high positions. Judges, like here in Texas, I think like over half of the judges that's in Dallas are like females in certain courts. Houston, you got Fonnie Willis in Georgia. You got all these like mayors, like the black female mayors that have popped up, blew up over the last 5 years. You got 4 or 5 years. And they get put on this pedestal. Now, shout out to them. They got the positions, I'm not knocking them at all. But sometimes you gotta read the room and kind of see that sometimes some things just don't look right, because things don't happen that fast. Not in the real world. It just don't. Anything that comes fast. Now I know they went to school, they took the bar, became lawyers, became judges, all that. Takes time, takes money, takes effort. I know. You understand? I look at my life and I say to myself, dang, I kind of wish I would have been able to go to law school and become a lawyer and become a judge, stuff like that, because I'm intrigued with the law now a lot more than I was when I was younger. That's why I tell people, get into it, pay attention to it, get your kids into it, because you have to understand it. You have to know how this system works, because if not, you're going to continue to be in a positions to where you can't really make a difference in your own lives if you don't get involved one way or another. Vote. Even when you vote, I mean, you got to know what the candidates are running on, the policies that they're running on. Don't just vote because a person is a Democrat or a Republican or is handsome or is cute or whatever the case may be. Don't do that. Find out what the heck they're running under, what policies that they're trying, that they're running with, and vote on that. Vote on something that's going to better your life and your family's lives. Not just because, like I said, the color of their skin. You don't do that. But anyway, you got these sisters who have got these high positions. And the thing about it is, one, you notice that the system, the powers that be, boost them up, right? The democratic system boost them up. Congratulate them. And I'm congratulating them too. Like I said, don't, just follow me here, okay? So they boost them up. They say, so many black women becoming lawyers, becoming judges, becoming mayors, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And they try to, but then you have these others who are probably part of the same system who try to separate Black American men from Black American women. Try to say, Black American women are the most educated. They're, got the most houses, making more money than black men, so on, etc. So you're feeding that with the feminist movement, with a group of people who have been downtrodden in this world, in this country since slavery and beyond. And somehow you found a way to separate men from women to where it's like it's a gender war. And it's not even a real war. It's like worse than East Coast, West Coast war. I mean, it's not there. But they created this narrative to where black men ain't nothing. Let me put them in jail. You don't need them. We'll help you. You know, we're gonna keep him down. We'll give you, woman, you know, government assistance. And they do it to, you know, white women too. But the problem is white people are already running this country. So don't compare yourself to other people. Like you got these lawyers like Fani Willis sitting there trying to compare herself, or people trying to say, if Fani Willis was a white man, she'd get away with this. Stop comparing yourself. Why are you comparing yourself to these white folk? To anybody? Why you compare yourself to black men? We don't compare ourselves to nobody, and you don't, and you shouldn't do the same. You shouldn't do it either. You compare yourself to yourself, and you try to do what it takes to become a better version of yourself every day to get to become a judge or a lawyer, or a judge, or a mayor, or a district attorney. You know, that's what you do. A great wife, great husband, whatever. That's what you do. A great mother. That's all you do. You don't compare yourself to anybody else. But anyway, so they made to where they try to put this wedge, and you see it online all the time, to put this wedge between black women and black American men. So when they boost the black woman up, and then the president runs, then you got a guy who runs for president, and he says the black woman is the backbone of the Democratic Party. There you go, separating us again, even more on political parties. So the people in politics, those are the people that are controlling everything. You see what I'm saying? So now black American women are latching on to the Democratic Party's coattails, or the powers that be, or them folk, or the man, as they used to call him back in the 70s, ride on his coattail, leaving us behind. But because we ain't no good, you don't need us anyway. You can do it on your own. You can do bad by yourself. You can be single. Who cares, right? Like I said, nothing happens that fast to where you get pumped, pushed up, built up, boosted up in the public like that. So many people. Then all of a sudden, things start happening. And the walls of Jericho, as I say, start crumbling down. You have mayors that are in scandals with paying, and district attorneys paying people they have no business paying them, and paying them amount of money that they have no business paying them. Docking hours that were not really, where they really actually, where no work is really getting done. You got people in the scandals with having affairs with married men. These people in high positions, and then you got people who say, well, that's their personal business, what they got to do with their job, everything. Because you're the same people who forgive a preacher for having affairs with 7 women in the church, and having babies with these women, and the first lady is sitting next to him and standing next to him every Sunday. And y'all still go to that church for whatever reason. You know why? Because you got skeletons in your closet, so water seeks its own level. It's just simple physics, man. It's just simple. It's just simple as that. So these scandals hit, and you're like, what does one got to do with the other? Like I say, everything. Because when you're in a position of power, even the scriptures tell you, you better have nothing in your closet, no skeletons, because you're held to a higher esteem, I guess is the word I'm trying to say. But you're in a different position. You got more power. Great power comes great responsibility. So you can't have any kind of conflicts or anything, controversies in your life. Because when you do, people are going to hit you with it, and it's going to bring you down. It's different if I had, let's say, an affair with 7 women, and had kids, and was, married. It's different publicly if I did it than it would be if the president, the mayor, a judge, a preacher does it, because they hold high positions of power. And people are looking up to you to do right by the people, and you can't even do right by yourself. So they can't trust you ready to get you out. That's how it's supposed to be. So these scandals and stuff hit, they use that as a catalyst to get the rest of y'all out of there, because your time is up. You see, the DEI movement is over. They kicked them out of all the schools, all the jobs, fired these people, these diversity hire people, managers. They're gone. It ran its course for a little while. Now you're out of there. So now what's happening? These judges out here in Texas, they're feeling the same thing. And they probably did nothing wrong, but what happened was this law got passed, and I'm gonna get into it. This law got passed that they probably didn't pay attention to, which a lot of folks don't pay attention to, which again, I've said in many videos, when they have these sessions, these House and these Senate sessions, go down there. You would think as a lawyer or a judge, y'all would pay attention to these laws way more than we would. And y'all would bring them to the people. That's what you should be doing in your position. Now, they got some lawyers or judges in Dallas, like black ladies, who got like a prisoner pipeline type program where we're trying to stop that, which is great. Which is, it's great, all for it, support it 100%. But even with that, like I say, the laws, the way y'all can help us people who are not in those positions is to study the laws and break it down so that we can understand what's going on. Forget the party that you part of. You are a citizen first, a Black American citizen first. Help us understand what we don't know, besides just, the prisoner pipeline, because we ain't all kids, we grown. So you need to know, hey, this is what this law is. Hey, this is what this session is going to be covering this, and this, and you get that message out to the people. Don't just come door to door to get votes. Come door to door to get messages out, to teach people about the law and what's going on down there in Austin or the Capitals or even hell, city council. You can go to a city council meeting yourself and sit in on it every time they have one, or they even stream them online. If you got an issue in your city, you can go to them council meetings and address your issue and try to get things put on the ballot. I think it's I don't know if it was The Simpsons or was the Family Guy. I think it was hell, it might have been Al Bundy. I don't know, but it was a show where the guy went down to like a city council meeting because he wanted like a stop sign or a speed bump or something on his street. Went down there, had his long speech, put his reading glasses on, got ready to, start talking. And before he even got like halfway done, he said, and the guy, one of the congressmen or councilmen was like, all in favor of putting a speed bump on or a stop sign that this is a street, whatever, say aye. And they say aye. And say, anybody opposed? No, okay, boom, speed bump put up. And the dude was like shocked. And then I think he went down there and tried to get some more stuff done. I forgot how the show ended. But the point is, that's almost how it goes in a nutshell. If you got issues in your city, they got ways to show you how to go down there and present it to those that's in office. You see these videos where people in Chicago and New York and hell, even in the suburbs of Denver, go down there talking to these people at these council meetings and say, hey, we got problems with all these migrants coming in, and they voicing their displeasure, they're voicing what they want done, and this and the third. That's how you do it. But you can actually go down there at anytime they have a meeting, and speak on something that you won't see, something that you want to see done, or something you got a problem with. You can do it. Hell, people go down there all the time that when you see these houses being built in your neighborhoods like these, and sister so-and-so, Sister Jenkins' house down the street, she moved out, got, grandkid wasn't paying the tax after Sister Jenkins died or went to the nursing home. Somebody come and get that house and they get ready to rebuild it. They go down to city council in these meetings and they're like, hey, I need money, not money, but I need permits to put this up, this and the third. Or they got these vacant lots. I need permits to put this house up, to put these lofts up, to put these apartments up. Boom, boom, it gets done. And then you start seeing new houses being built and you're like, what the heck is going on? By the time you figure out what's going on, it's too late. And you're like, what the hell happened? You should have paid attention because it's coming. It was coming. But anyway, I say that to get back into this story. Like I said, you got these sisters who are being threatened to where they can't, to not be able to be put on the ballots come next election. But like I said, I went to Black Enterprise and they didn't go into detail. All they talked about was white folks trying to stop black women from becoming judges. That's it. That's usually what the basis of most of these black issues are. The first thing they holler is racism. But again, what do you expect? You know where you live. You know what kind of country this is. What do you expect? So the point is, I'm not saying that you just roll over and die. Oh, heck no. What you do is you fight. But the thing is, you got to be paying attention to them like they pay attention to you. Because they study us. They study all our habits. They know exactly what we're doing. They know what we're going to do before we do it. Like I say, how they know to buy Sister Jenkins' house down there? How they know how to get it? Do a tax lien and probably paid a few $100, maybe a couple $1,000s for that house and got that house. Now they go down to the city council and say, hey, I need to raise this house and I need to build another one. This is what I plan on doing. Yay or nay? And they're like, hey, I was going to do help beautify the neighborhood, bring the property taxes up. Oh, we all for it. Yay. The next thing you know, he done got another house, another house, another house. And they know, like I say, how to do it. They're paying attention to us, waiting for us to slip. Are you doing the same thing to them? Because my dad got land like that himself through paying back taxes on some land. But in Texas, you gotta wait a little while, a couple years, before you can actually claim that land to be yours. Unless maybe but no, I ain't gonna say that. So these people probably bought these houses. And so when you see a house in a neighborhood and it's like empty and nobody's in it, and it looks like there's no one there, it's been, what you call it? Whatever you call it, deserted, abandoned, whatever, empty, condemned, almost. For a little while, it's because from the jump, they gotta wait. If they got it from a tax lien, they gotta wait a couple of years in Texas before they can claim their house for their own. Now, if the owners come back and pay those taxes, then whatever you paid, you get that plus 25%. So you can't it's a win-win. Do y'all know that? If not, you need to get to know stuff like that. But that's how this game works. But anyway, man, I keep going on a tangent. It's gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one, y'all. So saddle up and get ready. Take some notes. But like I said, I might put the Black Enterprise. I may put it in the description box. I don't know. But I know I'm going to put this one here. This is from the defendernetwork.com, and it reads, is there a campaign to discredit black judicial candidates? And like I say, on the Black Enterprise, it says new state law in Texas is now being used to question whether black female judges running for offices are qualified. Well, you got a bunch of black women trying to run, so who else you going to try to stop from beating you? And talk about the law, HB 2384. When you go to the Texas website, it's way down in the miscellaneous laws. Now, when people, when they draft laws and bills, they add other parts of other bills into it. Now, they had, I don't know how many doggone me. I don't even think this is, what is this? New Texas law that take effect on September 1st, 2023. This is from CashApp. It says, so real quick, Governor Greg Abbott and Texas lawmakers passed more than 1,100 bills during the 88th legislature, and 774 of those are about to go into effect. Now, this was, what it say, let's click here to see which ones already became law in June. So this started like last June and in September, and then some started at the beginning of this year. Now, this article was written, does it have a date on it? I'm trying to see. I don't see a date. It just says it goes in effect on September 1st. published August 29th. That's what it was. And updated September 29th. So it was rewritten. But talking about 1,100 bills. That's a lot of bills. So my thing is, you put 1,100 bills out. So people are not going to read all of them. But I wouldn't expect one judge to read 1,100 bills. But I would expect 100 judges to read 10 of them. Right? Yeah, 10 of them a piece or something like that, or go through them. And you ain't got to read them. Y'all got the law degrees and the expertise, so you know exactly what these laws are saying better than we would. I'm not going to read 1,100 bills for nothing, for nobody. But y'all can read them and see what they're about. And if something catches your eye, you should be able to go through them real quick. But undoubtedly, somebody didn't do it. So anyway, like I say, the Black Enterprise is talking about the law designed to increase judicial transparency, and it has a lot of neutral language, but it has been wielded by some white male judges who doubt the eligibility of some of their counterparts. As the Houston Chronicle reports, it makes an attempt to make up-and-coming candidates rake in legal bills so that their campaign is over before it's even started. Here's a tactic. It is a tactic. It's a dirty tactic, but it's legal, so they can do it. So basically what it's saying is, the people going in there, these older white men judges, the one that the sisters are running against, they go and they file these lawsuits saying that these judges, these black lady new judges who are trying to take my job, they're not qualified because of this new bill that we passed in September, which they probably all got together and wrote, and Greg Abbott signed it quickly without any hesitation. And so they knew what they planned on doing with the bill. You didn't know, but they knew. And they saying these ladies don't have the qualifications, so they take to the judge, they file a lawsuit. So now these ladies have to rack up legal fees, hire lawyers, whatever, file motions, pay for court documents, file motions, this, that, and the third. And they're gonna keep going back and forth until, like they said, these ladies run out of money, or they just quit fighting and then they lose. And then it's like, and these guys keep their job. It's basically what is going on. And they had like a little press conference and discussed their disdain for this bill. But the DefenderNetwork.com goes into detail about what's going on. So I'm gonna go through maybe a couple other stories. We'll see how it doesn't seem like a long read. So let's just get into it. Okay. Like I say, it says they're a campaign to discredit black judicial candidates. This is written in January 17th. So it's about 4 or 5 days ago. A new Texas law is being used to weaponize the city's judicial races, according to several African-American women who are running in the upcoming March primary. So this is coming up quick. Takasha Francis, Erica Hughes, and Amber Boyd Cora all overcame efforts to be removed from the ballot by their judicial competition, all white males. Quote, when you get a candidate that might beat you, you resort to desperate measures. You just got to be prepared for it, says Lord Kelly, who has represented all three women and asserts that incumbents are using the new law to selectively exclude challengers of African-American origin. I'm really offended by what they're doing. What is it about a black woman that you find offensive when she runs for office? Can't the people decide? You're using a lawsuit as a campaign tool. Like I said, the system built you up. But then once everything starts crumbling down, it's going to come down fast. And you're going to see who has your back. You're going to see if Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, if they're going to try to do something about this. Talk about it. Probably not. Probably not. In 2023, the Texas legislature enacted HB, which means House Bill, HB 2384, which created a list of criteria intended to establish professional qualifications viewable to the public for any person seeking an elected office as a district court judge or appellate court justice. Kelly has called HB 2380 for the Incumbent Protection Act because incumbent judges are exempt from having to answer the new application about qualification. Y'all remember that? Wasn't it called the grandfather clause back after slavery? During Reconstruction, I believe, where they said in order for you to vote, your granddaddy had to been able to vote, even if you were a citizen, and which meant black folks couldn't vote because, shoot, their grandpappy was slaves, right? So they couldn't vote. And then, or they came out with one where you had to take a test and answer these questions, knowing dang on well it was questions that these brothers and sisters couldn't answer. Hell, half the white folks couldn't answer. So this is nothing new at all. Like I said before, when people say stuff like this, they get upset about what's going on, you got to remember where you live and you have to prepare for it. Let's see. So let's see. Takasha Francis is running to replace 152nd District Court Judge Robert Schaefer, who alleges that Francis is not qualified to be a judge. Kelly says Schaefer dropped an earlier claim to have Francis removed from the March primary ballot because he, quote, has no evidence to support his claim, but plans to refile his lawsuit and use discovery to try and, quote unquote, find a witness after the primary election is over. Interesting. So they're going to drag this out to make sure she ain't on there. Schaefer's weaponization of his frivolous lawsuit is nothing but a sneaky attempt to cast doubt in the public's mind about Miss Francis's qualifications to be a judge, Kelly said. The defendant spoke with Schaefer's attorney, John Rayleigh, who said they filed a suit because the director of the City of Houston Department of Neighbors, Francis, does not work as a practicing lawyer, which is a requirement. See, that's how they got you on number one. You're not practicing law right now, so it's a requirement. If you're not practicing law, you can't run for judgeship. Under the Texas Constitution, Miss Francis is not eligible to run for district judge because she has not been a practicing lawyer or judge throughout the previous 8 years. Everything we found publicly available regarding Miss Francis' role since 2016 as Houston Director of the Department of Neighborhoods does not describe her as practicing law. According to Houston City Ordinance, lawyers with the City Attorney's Office represent the City of Houston in all legal matters, Raleigh said. Francis, who has worked in the legal field for nearly 20 years, unequivocally denies that she's not a working attorney. Quote, part of her job is to analyze cases and decide who to prosecute for deed violations, all that kind of stuff. She's actually like a city prosecutor handling legal stuff for the city, says Kelly. Use the word stuff. I don't like that. You're a professional person using the word kind of and stuff. That's not a professional type word. That's not helping your case. That's not helping you. Ain't making you look good there, Mr. Kelly. She also has practiced law for her family and her friends, which is allowed. She put that in her application. She swore under oath that she's been practicing law. This was a bogus lawsuit, which they originally brought to a challenge that she has not filled out the blanks correctly. They dropped that, recast it, and are now suing on a declaratory judgment that she's not qualified, so they can use it in the campaign. If she wins, they're trying to have the seat taken so Governor Abbott can appoint somebody other than a black woman to take that seat. So basically, it's like getting a hair license to cut hair or to do hair, and then you get out there and you don't have, like, you have a booth, but you're not really doing other people's hair, but you do, your family's hair, some friends of yours, and yet you trying, in order to get a booth at this place that if you get in there, you're gonna get clients. You gotta have some kind of history, but technically you don't have history. Kind of, not history, but experience that they want, because they want you to have like experience like in the shop, but you're like, no, I got experience doing hair because I've been doing this hair and I got the proof. I think it's kind of like that is what they're doing. But hey, I don't know. Maybe somebody in the law offices or legal field can explain it better. Added Francis, these same sitting judges have had people challenge them before. they've never gone to these lengths. So I probably wouldn't take it personally if this is just the order of how they operate. It's not a coincidence that their challengers have been white men or either they've been uncontested. This is the beginning of harassment, keeping people off the ballot, just like they tried to keep people out, oh, here, look here. I didn't even read this. Like keeping people in 1920 from voting. It's the same crooked system, Kelly said. But they don't have a single witness to refute one single fact. So that's frivolous. That's a frivolous lawsuit. So bring it. When you do, I'll be there. Absent that, it's the people's choice. I've encouraged Ms. Francis to just go forward with her election and make sure she lets the people know let the people know what they are, what these people are doing. And then it says Erica Hughes. In 2018, Judge Erica R. Hughes was elected to the Harris County Criminal Court at Law Number 3, where she joined 17 other accomplished women of color. See, 2018, 1916, that's when all these brothers and sisters was getting deleted by these policemen. And the sisters, like I commend them and what they supposed to have done, try to get into the court system and the legal system, which is what I can say I try to promote for sure. Together, they made history in Houston by forming the largest group of African-American female judges ever assembled in Texas. Judge Hughes was chosen by Attorney General Merrick Garland to serve as an immigration judge, where she will preside over cases beginning in January 2020. She's also worked in the Harris County Criminal Court at Law Number 3 and as a Harris County Veterans Court judge, having presided over both courts concurrently from 2019 to 2021. Now here we go. Despite her credentials, 151st District Court Judge Mike Engelhardt has contested that eligibility of Erica R. Hughes, arguing for Hughes's removal from the March primary ballot for her alleged failure to disclose certain information and using forged signatures to get on the ballot. Wow. The court ruled that Hughes could remain on the ballot, but Hughes says it's ridiculous that their character continues to be attacked. Forging signatures is a felony offense, Hughes said. I've served the country in the Army. I've served as a U.S. immigration judge, and we've exhausted resources, time, and money fighting these claims. We remain on the ballot, but the fights that we've had to go through to get on the ballot and stay on the ballot, we shouldn't have to face those challenges in 2024. Then it says early voting is from yesterday, February 20th to March 1st, election March 5th. I think the last story here, it says Amber Boyd Cora. Last month, Peter Kelly, incumbent, placed 9 justices at the 1st District Court of Appeals, asked the Texas Supreme Court to resolve whether a challenger to his seat, Amber Michelle Boyd Cora, why she got so many names, can remain on a Democratic Party primary ballot. Kelly alleges Democratic primary. So these Democrats also going after you. See what I'm saying? So no, you probably won't see nobody like Biden or Kamala Harris say anything. Kelly alleges Boyd Cora failed to describe appellate briefs and or oral arguments she claimed to have made in the prior 5 years, has no board certified specialization, and gave vague answers as to her alleged courtroom experience. Responding to Kelly's challenge to the Texas Democratic Party chair, Boyd Cora supplied answers to 3 questions, admitting she was not board certified, specifying that she had 1 jury verdict case, and describing her last appeal, an appeal from an eviction, according to a petition. Kelly's attorney argued that Boyd Cora's response was an amendment to her application, and amendments are not allowed in the election code. So they going hard with this. Man, I wish I was in the law, for real. She then demanded the Texas Democratic Party chair remove Boyd Cora from the primary ballot. The party refused. Boyd Cora has been practicing commercial real estate, construction, and contract law throughout her career. There is nothing wrong with her qualification as set by the Texas Constitution, Kelly said, noting that Boyd Cora is a licensed attorney and U.S. citizen who lives in the district. So I didn't tell you to support the defender, which, like I said, I'm going to put this link in the description box. Y'all can read it for yourself. But again, it's just par for the course. They build you up for what? So when stuff hits the fan, or all the smoke clears, and then they get back to the status quo. that's how it has always worked, and that's how it will continue to work until we figure out how to play the game like they are playing. And like I said, you have to start out, you have to pay attention to them like they pay attention to us. Period. Until you do that, like Neela Fuller said, until you understand racism, white supremacy, you will not understand how the world works and how it operates. You can holler it, you can yell this out there, but if you don't understand it, you don't understand how they operate, you'll never catch up. You'll never be able to beat them. It's a chess game, and they will checkmate you every time because all you got out there is a pawn. Because like I said, they keep us separated. So now when you're out there and things go to hell in a handbasket and you need that support, they're hoping that the people that you alienated, the heterosexual black American man that you alienated, they're hoping that we don't come to your rescue. Some of us will, some of us won't, but they're willing to take that chance. The question is, are you willing to take that chance? Are we as a people willing to take that chance and stay separate from each other? I say we shouldn't. Now, we all got issues, we both got problems, issues, and baggage that we got to address. You know, but we got to be able to put out in the forefront, put it out there, take accountability for what we have or haven't done, and move forward. And like I say, stick together, help each other. And like I say, learn the system. But that's all you can do, because if not, this is going to keep happening. A few years from now, another racial crisis is going to happen, and they're going to, who knows, they might start building up the black men, which I doubt it. By that time, it won't be heterosexual black men that they build up. So I doubt they do that, because that's one thing they don't want. But they're gonna do it again, and then they're gonna be like the black woman and the gay black man are gonna be the backbone of the Democratic Party, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. Gonna start all this stuff again. Everybody's gonna be boosted up, and then once the smoke clears, they're gonna be done with you. So be ready. So we can do this together, or we can do it, or we can do it separate from each other, which I don't recommend. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below, share it with the world. Let's dialogue, Like I say, if you comment early enough sometimes. Hey, a lot of times I comment days and weeks and months after, I post a video. If somebody put a comment in I read or I haven't read it, or just got around to it, I'll put a comment, a like, and everything else. Because like I said, we dialogue. We try to understand each other. It's here to learn, here to teach, here to be here as support groups for each other. So that's what I do. But anyway, also ways to support the channel. I'll put that in the description box, including super chats, super thanks, things of that nature. Be links in the description box. With that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.